fucking fizz, mate.
Giving you the
The
fizz.
camera is giving me the fizz.
It's the
It's
fizz.
an upgrade. Upgrade time here at UTC.
All right.
And there's another reel. Fuck it. Listen, boys, I think this is going to work, and I think we're being tested because I'll talk about that in a second. Red leather, yellow leather. Just act normal, bro. Just act normal.
Like a wizard on a wave.
All right, fuck it, boys. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're back. Mr. McDermott is live in the sanctum with me, and we have Johnny in the Blue Mountains, the Snowy Mountains, whichever mountains you're in, deep in them, in the cave of the mountains. Welcome back, mate. How are you?
Good, mate. How are you?
Excellent, man. Excellent. We have a stuttered start, but it's okay. We are moving forward. We're not going to mess around. Basically, this is going to be the start of a series that we're going to call The Missing Link or Triptych Echoes, or I'm not real sure what the name of it is. But we're going to be reading, reviewing, and discussing Richard Cassaro's book called The Missing Link. Now, for long-term and long-time listeners, the Triptych Echoes, I listened back to that episode today, and do you know what I find fascinating, mate?
What's that, mate?
The Triptych Echoes sent us on our path, man. It sent us on our journey. That was in 2021 we did Triptych Echoes.
Wow, that long ago.
That's how long ago it was, man.
Yeah.
And we talked about the source, we talked about self, we talked about balance, we talked about it is the echo of the universal religion.
Mm-hmm.
And it's quite fascinating because I don't know how many times we've sat down and said to each other, we need to do this book. And here we are, finally doing it. I wonder whether it's waiting for us. It was waiting for us to get to a certain level before we could do it, because the triptych research hasn't exactly stopped either, has it? Every church we go past, it's part of our existence now. And what was fascinating in the last one is that I had like 3 coughing fits, and I think you had one as well, right? And it's like this information was hard to speak and get out. And curiously, I haven't heard much of Richard Cassaro. Maybe Johnny can have a search for Cassaro, but last time I looked, he hadn't been active anywhere for a long time. Like he got lost during COVID somewhere, so I haven't heard anything from him. He hasn't responded to any of my emails. I've sent him quite a few emails over the years trying to reach out and even just to have him on the show and discuss this stuff. However, the triptych is the answer. The triptych is the leftover symbolism from the universal religion that once not ruled, but once was here. I think it was we said it was the antediluvian civilization, that we think that the triptych was the universal religion that brings color, culture, creed together, if you remember, right?
Absolutely. Foundational.
Yes,
yeah.
Foundational. And it sent us on, if I think about when we did that episode and the things we spoke about during that episode, Triptych Echoes, look back in the back catalogue, because it'll give you a good basis for this book, right? It'll give you a good understanding of where we're about to go. And it was formational. It was weird. It was odd to listen back to, considering where we are now, where we were then, and how far the research has come. So I'm really looking forward to getting into this book and seeing where it takes us, because there's so many different conversations I want to have. There's so many different things I want to talk about that look, I don't know. How many EFSs did we do? 20 something?
Yeah, a lot.
So, look, I would just say buckle in, because Cassaro's book is 527 pages. I don't know how long it's going to take us. Have a come with us on this journey, because it is going to be, I feel, a journey of discovery, and we're going to get some answers, right? What we said in 2021 was that we've spent the last 5 years unlocking the code, and now we've done it, and that's it. Switch it off, right?
Yeah.
That's what we said.
That's how it felt.
That's how it felt. That's how profound this was to us. And of course, we come at it a little bit early. We seem to do that, right? It's like, I don't know how many subjects I see now. It's like, oh, yeah, we recorded an episode on that in 2021, 2018, 2019. So,
bring a little before our time.
A little bit, yeah, exactly. Yeah, we came a little early.
It wouldn't be the first time.
Didn't even mean that one. That entendre there.
It just slipped out.
Johnny, what have you got for us on Cassaro? Is he missing in action?
He's MIA.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at his Instagram. He hasn't posted on here since 2019.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, no, 2020,
Hmm.
31st of October. So it's
Hmm.
yeah, been 5 or 6 years now, and I'm just looking. I've had a look at his website. Nothing's been updated there either, but
No.
Graham Hancock has got some stuff on there as well. But again, 2019 was the last post, so
Yeah, so I don't
he's
know.
he's
I don't know.
MIA.
I don't know how he survived COVID, or did he survive COVID? He just basically went missing after that, which I think is
Yeah.
probably even more important that we share this knowledge. Did you have any thoughts or takeaways from the episode you wanted to share before we crack on, John? Are you right, mate?
No, I'm pretty good. I mean, it was my sort of first, I guess, initiation into that discussion.
Mm,
And it's I guess there's a lot of things that make a lot of sense out of it, and for myself and my journey as well as yours, um, everything's starting, all the pieces are starting to fall into place. So,
hmm
and a lot of
hmm
things made sense, and having my own experiences in different things as well, which I'll go into later. But
mm.
um, yeah, it's sort of all the dots are connecting in ways, and it's one of
Yeah,
those ongoing things.
it's an interesting one where I think, as I say, I'm really interested to see where this takes us. I think it's going to be some profound conversation. So, without further ado, mate, unless you've got anything to add,
I've got nothing else.
excellent, bud.
Let's crack on,
Let's
brother.
do it, man. I think it's going to be cool. So, just so we're clear, all right, let's have a look. Let's share some screens. We have the technology, get rid of that. Zero mistakes here at unlocking the code. Screen two. Okay. So, all right. We have Richard Cassaro, the missing link. Hang on a minute. Why is that not? It's not.
Zero mistake.
Zero mistakes.
Technology is on our side.
Technology.
Technology.
Now nothing's responding. Excellent. Can you hear us, Johnny?
Yep, I can hear you.
Excellent.
I can't see the screen though.
No,
Big white
because
screen.
it's nothing is responding.
Oh,
Oh, hang on.
it's catching up.
Hang on. Stop, stop, stop. Okay, let's try that again. Okay. How was that, mate? Can you see that?
Yes, yes, I
Excellent.
can.
Excellent. Excellent. Everybody else. So, The Missing Link by Richard Cassaro, powerful evidence of an advanced golden age culture in prehistoric antiquity. And like I said, when we first looked at this research, it was the answer. There's a couple of books before and after this, and I actually did order those books off Richard. They never turned up. It was a bit strange, right? I actually paid him pretty good money to send me his other books, hard copies, and they never turned up.
Yeah, they never got it.
No. And I actually, that was part of why I reached out to him. Like, hey, man, looking forward to reading the books. Do you want to come on the show? Da 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 da. And nothing. I haven't heard anything from him since. So,
Maybe he did get too close to the truth.
yeah, I don't know.
Seems to be what happened. Maybe he shot himself twice in the back of the
Yeah,
head.
maybe he crashed into a tree in the middle of a paddock somewhere.
Shit.
For Jordan. I don't know who Jordan is. Thanks, Richard.
But this one's for you, buddy.
All right. Introduction.
Do you want me to take it off the bat, mate? Straight up?
Oh,
No? Yeah.
I was primed, mate.
All right, you're primed.
I'm primed. I'm
Run
ready.
it straight in.
Yeah, and the thing is that the chapters are quite short with this, and I think there's going to be some discussion points. So
Beautiful.
We'll have some swap overs.
All right.
All right. You good, Johnny? We ready?
Yep, let's
Let's
do it.
roll.
Righto, everyone. Let's go. Imagine what might happen if tomorrow a great cataclysm wiped out all civilization and killed every human being save for a new illiterate Adam and a gruntling fertile Eve who eventually managed to restart the human race. After thousands of years or more, the Dr. Zaius of the new civilization would eventually dig his way down to the thin layer that represents our time, and he would come across one symbol perhaps more than any other, the Christian crucifix. As future red leather, yellow leather, first vocal stroke, got in only two paragraphs in, rusty.
Rusty.
As future archaeologists sift through the ruins of our long forgotten culture, they would find the crucifix everywhere, on buried churches, in underground castles, on cathedrals poking above the waterline, and in the debris covered ruins of schools, shops, homes, government buildings, monuments, and cemeteries, not just on one continent, but across the entire world. While there might be more crosses in the Americas and Europe than in Africa or Asia, there would certainly be quite a few found in odd places like Korea and Nairobi. The crucifix was the chief symbol of a global religion, our future archaeologists might think. And they would be right. Aside from the Islamic world and the vast reaches of the East, Central, and South Asia, Christianity is everywhere. In chapter 9 of my 2011 book, Written in Stone, which is the one I ordered but didn't arrive, we should probably look for that. I published my account of a similar scenario, but one based on a close study of monuments and artifacts as remote from us in the other direction of time as we would be to our postulated descendants of thousands of years hence. The result of my investigation was the discovery of many of the world's earliest cultures, including the ancient Egyptians, Assyrians, Persians, Hindus, Chinese, Maya, pre-Inca, pre-Christian Europeans, shared the same ubiquitous religious icon, which I've labeled the God Self icon. And as I say, there's another side of the research that has never stopped with this, whereas the God Self icon and the left, the right, the Jake and the Boaz is represented so many places. So many places. We've seen it on our travels. We keep an eye out for it everywhere, and it is literally everywhere.
It's like a new car.
Yeah.
Once you buy it, you start to see it everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I first recognized the God Self icon in the late 1990s, and I began publishing information on it online in 2001. Note the parallel pose and keep in mind these figures were found across the globe. So just for those listening, we've got God Self icons from Bolivia, Egypt, North America, Sumer, Jiroft, Indonesia, Peru, Nigeria, Minoan, Persian, Indian, and Greece. And look, to be perfectly honest, guys, this one may be better. If those watching on YouTube, you might notice flash new camera. Hey, don't we look in our 40s now, unfortunately.
Yeah.
However, it's 4K. We've upgraded. So this one might be viewed better on YouTube because we are actually presenting the book as well. Okay. And again, all kudos goes to Richard Cassaro, but he's disappeared off the face of the planet for the last 5 years. So I'm not too sure. We just keep giving him kudos for it. The God Self icon exists worldwide in almost every ancient center of high civilization. It does not appear only once, but multiple times in each culture. And this is the thing. It echoes in churches. It echoes in ancient times. It just echoes and echoes and echoes, this God Self icon and the variation of it. The God Self icon depicts a single god or goddess with both arms outstretched in opposite directions, right and left, holding twin objects in each hands symmetrically. These objects are usually animals, often serpents, and sometimes vegetation or magical staffs. The artwork is almost always perfectly symmetrical, just like the icon's pose. And the thing is, so if you remember in the Christian stuff in the churches, and if you look closely at the God Self icons as well, one represents the feminine, one represents the masculine, and the idea is that we sit in the middle in the balance, right? You could say dark, light, feminine, masculine, the eternal battle that we all are in. What does this mean? How could this same religious icon exist in the ruins of the world's most ancient cultures? And if these ancient cultures evolved independently, separated from each other, as scholars tell us, could the mainstream academic view of the ancient past be wrong? And just so we'll just keep going. More God Self icons for those listening. Peru, Afghanistan, Egypt, Colombia, Italy, Lebanon, China, India, Nigeria, Spain, Iraq, and Greece. And there's also indigenous paintings down here as well that I think are in the slideshow that I put together that we found that had a similar two-staff
symmetrical
two-staff deep in the cave art as well. Okay, so after I published Written in Stone, many readers contacted me, asked me for more information. So this is back in 2013, 2014. He put some websites up. And as I say, and as John said earlier as well, Graham Hancock has looked at this work and endorsed it as well. And we can see, again, God Self icon etched into stone atop temple doors in different parts of the world. Left, the Gate of the Sun in Tiwanaku, Bolivia. Middle, residence in Pompeii, Italy. Right, Temple of Hadrian and Ephesus in Turkey. This thing just echoes and echoes and echoes. Okay.
Yeah, I do. It's all coming back now.
Yes.
I do remember
Yes,
the feeling like, wow, Richard's he's onto something.
He's onto something. Yeah.
I've never noticed this kind of pattern recognition before.
And among scholars of the old world cultures, i.e., cultures in the Eastern Hemisphere, the icon is either male or female and known by various names. Lord of the Animals or Lord of Animals, Master of Animals, Master of Beasts, Mistress of Animals, Mistress of Wild Animals, Potnia Theron. Um, so the Lord of the Animals Wikipedia, the Lord of the Animals, also known, is a generic term for a number of deities from a variety of culture. They sometimes also have female equivalents, the so-called Mistress of the Animals, the implication being these all have a Stone Age precursor. We're going to see that it's actually far beyond the Stone Age. It's actually far beyond the Stone Age. You got anything for us, John? You're clicking away there, mate? Or you're not
Yeah,
quite...
I'm just having a look through Aboriginal rock art at the moment, and just seeing if there's anything that's relevant.
I
I
think it's
found one
not...
image, but I'll just do a quick share if you like. I mean,
Oh,
sorry, you'll have
yeah.
to approve me.
Only if you behave yourself.
Okay, promise.
Can you pass me a mini, please, mate?
Sure, mate. Can you share? Or have I got to stop share?
Yep, I can share.
This
So
is...
this is the only one I could find at this point. This one here.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one.
I
Yeah.
mean, there's heaps more, but there's more than,
Yeah, but there's also
you know,
there's also one with a guy holding two spears as well. I'm pretty sure I'd have to look back through
yeah.
my files as well. But again, it's just something that echoes. And the thing is, like those heads and that you can see down there, those
Mm,
heads, that's the gods.
yeah.
That's the gods. That's the representative of
These
the
ones
gods.
here,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And
yeah.
later on in the book, once we get into it, the way in which those are positioned, it may not match up totally with the God Self icon right now, but I tell you what
Hmm.
it does match up with is the three doorways.
Hmm.
And we'll just leave it there, but that'll remember that when we start talking three doorways later, think back to that image because it's
Hmm.
very similar. The
Very
large
similar.
doorway in the
Yeah.
middle and the two symmetrical doorways to the
Hmm.
outside.
And
It
then
gets echoed throughout archaeology.
and next
Hmm.
time that you are traveling around the place, as I know you do a bit of driving between all down there in the mountains, keep an eye out with the churches,
Hmm.
even the baby ones, the little ones.
Yeah. Yeah, we got a
It's
few down here.
the echoes are.
This, oh, and so well, while we're at it, and the circular nature of those
Mhm.
gods' heads,
Yep.
the soul windows above the doors
Hmm.
on the Christian churches,
Hmm.
and how it's been echoed through right through to modern modern chapels
Yeah.
kind of thing. Like it's not always the older Gothic imitation style
Hmm.
cathedrals that we do have. It echoes right through all of
Mm.
those.
Yep.
Yeah, and the thing is, even right down to our local little church that only seats to 20 people, there's a central door and two windows either side with a round circle up the top.
Hmm.
Now, we're not saying for a second that they have gone, they're mirroring triptych architecture. We'll get into that. As I say, it's all the downloads are coming. Do you actually, you know what's fascinating? In the Triptych Echoes episode, you're like, yeah, they say people get downloads. They call them downloads. And I'm like, well, I've witnessed like four of your downloads live since that time. So it's like, yeah, I don't know what they are, but they call them downloads. It's like, oh yeah, you know what they are
Yeah.
now.
Well,
Yeah.
let me tell you something, buddy.
Been there, done that,
You
got the
to you,
t-shirt.
it's going
Yeah.
to know all about it.
Okay. Lord of the Animals entry along with the caption. So that's just a pendant there. And again, they're very, I think what we saw in these different God self icons and is they're not all the same, but they're reflecting the culture with which they came from. You know, that's what we talked about. It's like that's what makes it a universal religion. Everyone believed the same similar thing, but they are allowed to articulate it in the way that they saw it through their culture, through their understanding,
Yeah.
right? But it's all the same.
Yeah. The God is in their font,
Mm.
for lack of a better word. Like
Mm.
the art is in their font, and yet it's a similar representation. It's
Mm.
that symmetrical God self icon with the two things,
Mm.
whether they be what were they there? Geese.
Yeah, it looks like ducks
There
or
was
geese
like
or something.
cats,
Yeah. There
sort
was
of in the
cats,
future.
one's a
One with
serpent, one's
snake.
a
Yeah.
moon, one's a thing. One's Mary, one's St. Patrick in the churches. Like there's all sorts of stuff going on. All right, let's keep going. What does this mean? It means scholars have already recognized the repetitive pose of the God self icon among old world cultures, cultures in the Eastern Hemisphere. But what old world scholars haven't yet recognized is that the very same icon, the very same pose, was a widespread presence among the New World cultures or cultures of the Western Hemisphere of the Americas. The God self icon is known to scholars of the ancient Americas who call the God self icon the staff god. Here is the Wikipedia entry for the staff god. You want to double check this as well, mate? Look up the staff god on Wikipedia because I'd be curious to see whether it's changed since he wrote it in 2016. Because that Wikipedia has a way of doing that
Yeah.
things gets changed or
Get
taken away.
edited.
Yeah.
Yeah, strangely enough.
The staff god is a major deity of Andean cultures, usually pictured holding a staff in each hand. His other characteristics are unknown, although he's often pictured with snakes in his headdress or clothes. Snakes, serpents is another one that also echoes. And then that serpent iconography sent us down a rabbit hole of Ophiuchus, which is the 13th astral symbol, the missing thing, because the year should be 28 days times 13. And why have they deleted the serpents out of everything? Because there's a thing about that too, where they've scratched serpents off walls and stuff like that. So it echoes, man. We're going to go on a ride with this. The oldest known depiction of the staff god was found on some broken gourd fragments in a burial site in the this is the fun bit, Vilka River Valley, and carbon dated to 2250 BC. So what's that, 4,000 years ago?
Yep.
This makes it the oldest image of a god to be found in the Americas. So does the staff god echo that in Wikipedia, Johnny?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Almost
Interesting.
identical. There's heaps here actually. There's another one. I'll just quickly share. But so can you see my screen? Yep.
Yeah. So
Yep.
that's
So there's
that's very similar. That's a
that's
stamp.
that one. There's there's also this one here, which is
Wow.
another one. So this is something that I've just picked up on. It has 7 on either side here. Now 7 is another number.
Seven's another those numbers.
Another balanced number.
Yeah,
It's a
the
Masonic
seven.
one as well.
The 7 sisters, the 7, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
That's that drawing you've got there, Johnny, almost reminds me, gives me like a chakra kind of idea.
Well,
Because
it's 7
there's
chakras,
7
seven
chakras.
chakras as well.
The
Yep,
way that,
yep.
but that to me, it's almost like, okay, here's an early read. It's like the civilization, the self became a little too important. See how the self is so much larger, the central figure, so much larger than the 2 outside pillars, whereas in the rest of the pictures we've seen so far, it's all been balanced in the height. That it hasn't, so it's like it's been a balance, whereas that seems like it's getting out of balance.
And that's something we need to talk about as well. And that's what's going to echo to come back to us. Yeah, there's another one. Yeah, that's like found on a. Yep. Yep. As I say, man, welcome to the rabbit hole. Good luck. Yeah, there you go. That one's beat out of gold. Yeah, mate, it is. Angus is right. It's like you buy a car that you've never seen before, and then all you see is that car everywhere.
Exactly.
And you're now gonna see it represented everywhere. It just is. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So despite recognizing the icon in their respective disciplines, scholars of the old world cultures. Old world cultures and scholars of new world cultures have failed to recognize the worldwide presence holds the same meaning, and thus remain unaware the God self icon is the lost symbol of an ancient universal religion once known worldwide. And for us back in 4 years ago, 5 years ago, that was the mind blower, because we'd already channeled into the fact that we thought there was a previous civilization, and that there was the stone circles all echo, everything echoes, and it's like what joins them together, and it's this is what joins them together, as the book says, it is the missing link. The evidence in this book will show the God self icon's global existence is proof of a universal religion in the remote past, with the icon itself being the chief symbol of this universal religion. Just as the symbol crucifix symbol unites millions of Christians worldwide under one universal religion, so the symbol God self icon symbol did the same for our ancient ancestors. And just as a symbol crucifix conveys a complete metaphysical doctrine expressing complex themes like sacrifice, life, death, and resurrection, so the God self icon encodes a single multifaceted metaphysical doctrine or universal religion. This universal religion has been handed down through time. The more popularly known aspects of its teaching fall under the heading perennial philosophy. This religious tradition reveals the truths regarding who we are, where we came from, and why we're here. And thanks, Richard.
That's the foreword.
That's the foreword. So,
thank you so much.
Do you want to take over, sir? Chapter 1.
Absolutely.
Take over, sir.
Let's slide in.
Have you got anything for us, Johnny, before we get into a chapter?
No, I'm just looking for some photographs at the moment, but yeah, there's nothing really relevant.
That's okay. Keep going, mate. All right.
All right. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Excuse any sloppiness. It's been a while.
It's been a while, mate.
A little bit rusty.
The refinery was the last time we read anything. It's not even the refinery anymore. It's the same.
We've moved on.
We moved on. We moved up. We moved sideways. It's downloads. It's all sorts of stuff.
All right.
Continue, sir.
No time like the present. Chapter 1, Decoding Ancient Triptych Temples. The Egyptian pyramids are among the most prominent and enigmatic remnants of ancient times. The secrets of their construction and mysteries related to their intended purpose and significance have inspired fantastic and implausible stories about pyramid codes, pyramid secrets, pyramid messages, and pyramid prophecies. And it's not just Egypt. Pyramids and pyramidal structures have been found amid the ruins of civilizations that arose in Mexico, Colombia, China, Peru, Cambodia, India, Iran, Italy, Ireland, and the United States, and many other places.
Pause there for a sec, mate. Johnny, can you pyramids in India and Italy? And just so we know, Sacred Site 2, the second part of the documentary series done by Loomis from Chan It Down, he literally just saw the pyramids in Italy. He hasn't sent me any photos yet, cheeky. He's like, I saw them and they're awesome. I'm like, well, yeah, show me, man.
Show me.
However, they will be, don't tell anyone. It's only just us, isn't it? Don't tell anyone. They'll be featured in Sacred Site 2. So keep going, man.
Awesome. Such widely scattered structures with similar designs and parallel purposes seem to indicate a connection. If there was no communication between the cultures during their respective development phases, we might reasonably look for a common source predating these cultures. Enter the Triptych Temple discovery. Written in stone, I presented evidence for a major interpretive archaeological discovery I made. A series of parallel triptych temples built by the first civilizations, the pyramid cultures. I showed how these triptych temples were strikingly similar in their size, shape, and design because, like the God Self icon, they all encode the same teaching, a universal religion once practiced worldwide. Here's a little map, and look at that. It's the three doors.
The 3 doors. Here we go again.
So the triptych 3-door temples built in the pyramid cultures show that they shared the same universal religion. And we've got Mexico, Egypt, India, and Cambodia.
Have you got those Italy pyramids, mate, before Mr. McDermott keeps going?
Yep.
And the 3 doors thing it echoes so many different things as well. Go to JG's screen up there, mate.
Oh.
Yeah. No, it's a video. All right.
Oh.
So
that's one. Okay.
That's one.
Yep.
There is.
That almost looks like a step pyramid.
Yeah, it does a bit. This is the main one, which is pretty much it's a tomb, I believe.
Yeah, that's a tomb. That's a tomb where I'm pretty sure they say that's where who founded Rome? Romulus and Remus?
Mm-hmm.
Cestius, Pyramid of Cestius.
But who's buried in there? I think it's supposed to be Romulus and Remus.
Did see something before about it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's like where they buried the. And see, this is the thing, right? So that's covered in trees. We've always got to remember that Teotihuacan was also covered in trees in like 1920.
Yep.
Right. That's how come we play the game in Australia, Spot the Pyramid. Right?
Yeah.
There's one near my house.
Yeah. John's pretty sure there's one in the Blue Mountains there.
Snowy.
Oh, snowy. We will get that right eventually.
You will get it right eventually.
We'll get it right eventually.
That's all right.
We're just trying not to give away your location, mate.
No, that's okay. Well,
Somewhere
Snowman's is a big place.
Somewhere on the Great Dividing Range.
Yeah, somewhere down there.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, well, thanks, mate. Thanks,
That's
mate.
all
I
right. Sorry, that's
appreciate
all.
that.
Yep.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Thank
I
you.
will kick on.
Yeah.
Note the parallels. 3 distinct doors or windows at the entrance, usually with the door or window in the center being larger than the outer two. In each example, the same concept was followed, as if the ancient temple masons were working off the same blueprint. The triptych temple pattern was ubiquitous temple design that was common to cultures as far away as the Maya in Mexico and the Khmer in Cambodia. Shown below are 8 Mayan triptych temples. Clearly, the triptych temple was not just a one-time chance or random creation. There was something important about the triptych design for the ancient Maya.
And come across this one.
There. Oh, sorry.
There you go.
Oh, thank you so much.
Sorry, mate. I just had to fondle you a little bit.
That's all right, mate. I don't mind the touch. So here we are. We've got the diagrams for those listening. We've got
well, there's multiple Mayan temples, right? And the thing about these Mayan temples, if those of you who have watched the Netflix series, Graham Hancock series, The Americas, he goes to one of these temples, and not only do they are they the same, a lot of them line up to the rising of the sun on the equinox, or the spring, the autumn, or the winter of the summer solstice, and the sun actually goes through the middle door in a lot of cases. As in a few temples in particular, and I can't remember the Maya where he was in the Americas. However, he climbed it and he watched the equinox sun come through the door. That's what he actually, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The pyramid cultures all used many forms of the triptych temple design. They repeated the triptych temple design over and over again, just like the Maya. The fact that structures, temples no less, in widely separated locations have the same blueprint argues not only for a common origin or common heritage, but for a shared wisdom or shared wisdom tradition. Written in stone, I describe this common heritage and shared wisdom as a universal religion. The ubiquity of the God Self icon in this same pyramid cultures is another important indication of the existence of the universal religion.
And that's Americas, Africa, and Asia. I think we showed that in the original episode. I wonder whether, look, I think as part of UTC3, I've been going back through the video catalog. We might re-release some of these episodes on the YouTube. The video is nowhere near the quality that is now. However, it's probably worth releasing them because we went through some of this stuff. And the Americas, if you just scroll up for the awesome people there, mate, you can see the Americas, Africa, and Asia. It almost looks like the Orion's belt across the planet. It
So
almost
true.
does. Yeah.
So true.
Yeah. It's interesting. And notice there's step pyramids in the ones that he's chosen. So he's chosen the echoes that actually echo.
Yeah.
Mm.
So the goal of this book is to help you recognize the importance and decipher the message of the God Self icon, which is one of the most common and powerful images that has survived from ancient times. As we'll see, the central tenet of the God Self icon was to teach initiates that they are spiritual beings beneath their corporeal clothing.
Meat suits experiencing the universe
The
in a
aim
little
was,
while.
the aim was also to help followers cultivate higher spiritual powers to accomplish what we might call finding the soul or finding the spiritual center within, a goal pervasive among ancient peoples all over the earth. And some would argue not so ancient peoples also.
Yeah.
As shown in the previous chapter, the God Self icon is visible in the ruins of Egypt, Panama, Colombia, Bolivia, Mesopotamia, Sumer, Persia, Peru, China, India, Greece, Rome, China twice, Indonesia. Was there China twice?
Yes,
There is.
twice,
Yep.
yeah.
He's testing me. Italy and many other places. There are only 2 plausible explanations why this should be so. Either the God Self icon is an a priori feature of the human brain, like time, space, and causality. Thank you so much.
That's all right.
Or a mother culture. I was going to say, I don't even know what that word is. But causality sounds way more normal.
What's an a priori? I think that might be Latin.
It has to be. because that's what got me was when it was an N-A.
What's an a priori, mate? It sounds like it's Latin.
Priory.
Priory?
Priory is
it's something like that.
Priory of Sion.
Mm.
It's like I remember that from the Dan Brown book.
Yeah.
Of what was the one with
Da Vinci Code.
Yes, thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
What's an a priori, Johnny?
I'll just read on while Johnny's whacking that up. God, now I've got to find my place. Here we are. Human brain, space, causality, mother culture. In the remote past, invented the God Self icon image and used it as the central figure of their religion. And from there it was inherited by later cultures, i.e., possibly a universal religion. Written in stone, I, Richard Cassaro, presented evidence supporting the idea that a very ancient mother culture, now lost to time, a highly advanced antediluvian golden age civilization, may have once existed in the remote past and may have used the God Self icon as the pinnacle of their religion. Any updates, Johnny?
Yep. So, sorry, I was on mute.
Zero mistakes.
Zero mistakes. So a priori means relating to or denoting reasoning or knowledge which proceeds from theoretical deduction rather than from observation or experience.
So it's an echo. It's like a genetic echo, is what he's trying to say. It's an echo that exists within us. I think that's what he's trying to say there.
I think I'm just reading it off the dictionary.
No, that's fine. Perfect.
My triptych temple discovery fits in with other parallels. Pyramids, corbelled arches, and mummies cited by Victorian scholars as evidence of a mother culture.
And we loved our corbelled arches. Remember that? We went on a massive.
We went deep on the corbelled arch.
Yeah, the corbelled arch. We did heaps of stuff on corbelled arch back in the day.
The story of an antediluvian mother culture in remote prehistory was first set forth by the Greek philosopher Plato, who called it Atlantis. According to Plato's account, the peoples of the mother civilization were not technologically advanced, but spiritually advanced. This is an important distinction. As Plato explains, the Atlanteans grew weak due to their materializing tendencies, weak enough that they began to lose touch with the inner divinity that granted them their power.
Mm-hmm. Does that sound familiar? I don't know if that sounds familiar, boys. Does that sound familiar?
It does, and that's what I was kind of touching on before with that other drawing.
That's right.
That was shown. It was like, you might have got too big for your boots.
For your boots.
Forgot your roots and what got you to the prom.
And what is actually important. Yeah, that's right.
For many generations, they obeyed the laws and loved the divine to which they were akin. They reckoned their qualities of character were far more important than their present prosperity, so they bore the burden of their wealth and possessions lightly and did not let their high standard of living intoxicate them or make them lose their self-control. But when the divine element in them became weakened and their human traits became predominant, they ceased to be able to carry their prosperity with moderation.
How good is Plato? How good is
Timaeus?
Yeah. He was on point with that one.
And I mean, never a better time.
Never a better time. Yeah,
you know, maybe
I did wonder about the timing.
Maybe we paused in 2021 because we just needed to take a few breaths, see what was going to happen.
Downloads. Take a few breaths, get a few downloads, do a bit more digging, and because I mean, yeah. And Timaeus is excellent. Plato. If those of you haven't read to Plato, Timaeus with Plato, please do that. It's worth a read. It's and again, it's like living intoxicate them or make them lose their self-control. But when their divine element became weakened and their human traits became predominant, they ceased to be able to carry their prosperity with moderation. Wow. And I think what I want to just point out before we keep going as well, gents, is that he keeps saying the mother culture. One of the key epiphanies and understandings I've had since we sat down and did this research earlier was the denial and the destruction of the sacred feminine is what has made us be out of balance, right? That is one of the massive things. is the fact we don't actually recognize the feminine within ourselves as men, and our religious thing is all about, it is patriarchal. That's just the way it is and has been for thousands of years. And I wonder whether the denial of the sacred feminine and the destruction and the just don't even talk about it, that's why we're so out of balance. I see that so clearly, with the research and everything I've learned since then.
Absolutely. But I wonder if it was an onset of actually a denial, like as in to push that aside, or if it slowly, as the balance got out of whack, and we sort of veered in a certain path where we became, the divine element in them became weakened.
Yeah.
And it's a slow veering in not necessarily a conscious attack upon, but it was that suffered, that the reason why the balance suffered.
Well, look, the reflection on how women have been treated over the past few thousand years might assist us in that, and it's not very good. And even now, in their modern cultures, in some of the Middle Eastern cultures and stuff like that, they're not treated very well at all. Like I think it's one of those things where, yes, I can see what you're saying. Was it a slow descent, or was it a conscious decision? I mean, biblically, it was a conscious decision. They took all the books of Mary and all that sort of stuff. Like a lot of those chapters and a lot of those verses were taken out of the updated versions of the Bible. You know what I mean? So it's fascinating. But I see what you're saying too. It's interesting.
Mm-hmm. According to Plato, the Atlanteans were sophisticated because of their identification with their own divine nature rather than their human traits. Plato and the Greeks called this divine nature within man the soul, and they described the soul as having almost godlike qualities. The Greeks often contrasted the soul, spiritual, with the body, physical, that surrounded it, like a shell surrounds a pearl. As I explained in Written in Stone, the idea that we each have a spiritual soul which transcends our physical body is the very essence of the universal religion of the Triptych Temple. As we'll see in the present chapter, this was the shared religion of the pyramid cultures. After the Pyramid Age had come to an end, i.e., during the era of Greek and Roman civilization, the universal religion of the Triptych Temple was contained and kept alive in the modern scholars, called the ancient mystery schools. The teachings of the mystery schools, held in the highest secrecy and reverence, were said to contain the secrets of the soul.
And if you can master the soul, then you have everything, don't you? If you can control the soul, or you know how to access it.
Here we have pagan triptych triumphal arches were in use long after the pyramidal age and long before Christianity became the official religion of Rome. Members of the mystery schools were endowed with extraordinary insight and superhuman qualities and abilities. Some of the great forefathers of modern Western thought, Homer, Pythagoras, Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle, were alleged to be initiates of the mysteries. With the dawn of Christianity came a period of great change. In a quest to gain authority over the masses, the church began to root out all traces of the wisdom of the mystery schools. Even Plato's famous academy, which had flourished for over 900 years, from 387 BC until 529 AD, was closed down by Emperor Justinian, who claimed the academy was pagan.
Of course it was.
As a result...
I bet you all the books are in the Vatican, though.
Oh, of course. As a result, students of the mystery schools went into hiding. Although, in saying that, there's that whole train of thought, and it's a separate but linked rabbit hole, is the two empires, the two Roman empires, so the Eastern and the Western. The Western ended up becoming the Holy Roman Empire, linked to what's his name? Charlemagne.
Charlemagne, yeah.
Right. And that's in the Roman area where the Vatican is. Then you've got Istanbul or Constantinople, named after Constantine. Now they were more what is the word? Oh God.
Well, it's more of an Eastern versus Western religious.
But they were Christian.
Yeah.
But they are there's a Jewish sect also that is this. You know what
yeah. Oh,
it's the word that starts with it, and it's
what is it?
there's a bowling style that is also the same in cricket.
There is.
I can't remember what the word is now.
Orthodox.
Orthodox. Thank you. The Orthodox Church.
Mm.
Now, Orthodox Christians went to Russia, and the unorthodox, that's the Holy Roman Church. So does the Vatican hold them? Or are
the
they
Russian
somewhere in
Turkey or Russia?
Orthodox Christianity?
We'll get you with the Greek Orthodox as well. Yes, right. Yes.
Yeah, you get me?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So that was sort of where there was a split in Christianity there around those, because those Roman empires, which the true Roman Empire was meant to be the Eastern one. But that's, yeah. So anyway, there was a split in Christianity at that stage.
The other thing is too, I was thinking as you were talking about that, is the Masons were created. The first lodge was built by building the Temple of Solomon. The architects and the stonemasons came from Tyre. They were the Tyrian architects, but they were the students of the Dionysian mysteries.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. Which, yeah. I think we linked it back to, in the original research, we linked it back to the fact it's not only a spiritual thing, but they know how to manipulate the stone. They know how to build the temples. They had the tricks and the understanding of how to work and move and shift the stone as well. So I think that's all part of it.
And what Richard is describing here might have been the whole reason as Christianity gained popularity and started to take over because of the Roman Empire sort of taking it on board as their main religion.
Yeah, the jackboot of Rome.
Well, then you need to eradicate all these other pagan, you label them barbarian and pagan, religions, anything you want, like it's the outsider, the other. And that might have been the very start of all of these things being pushed underground, all these secret societies and stuff like that.
And the thing is that the Masons, if you go back through the Mason iconography and symbology, the Masons actually adapt, right? So they had the triptych symbology, then they adapted to the Greek mythology, then they adapted to the Roman mythology, and then they adapted to the biblical mythology and iconography.
Yeah.
So like they had different symbols that mean the same thing, and each time something took over as the most popular religion, they adapted their symbology to fall into line with that current.
It's like a double innuendo. So it's like, okay, we'll let you think, like, as we're saying, they're Masons. They built the Gothic temples, but they filled it full of their own iconography, which was just a double innuendo. It's like, oh, we'll put Mary up there, but in this certain pose, in this certain thing, and it'll be the same. Yeah. Moving right along. As a result, students of the mystery schools went into hiding in secret societies, maybe. The ancient knowledge waned a little more with each successive retelling, and as Christianity grew to empire status, these teachings began to die out in the face of relentless persecution. It appeared that many, if not all, connections to the original source were severed or so diluted that the universal religion of the Triptych Temple was about to become lost. As ancient Triptych temples fell into ruin, so did much of the spiritual knowledge that brought them into being. And here we have a few more pictures of examples around the world. These ruined Triptych temples indicate a universal religion shared worldwide, inherited from the same mother culture. Now, it doesn't have a list of areas where they are, but these all look very Eastern. A little bit of Japan, a little bit of Cambodia, a little bit of India, possibly. I'm seeing a lot of Asian influence there. To safeguard the wisdom, some have claimed persecuted heretics shrouded their ancient secrets in allegories and symbols and placed it all under the guardianship of esoteric societies. It was in this context that a powerful secret society called the Masonic Fraternity stepped into the stage of history and began their quest to keep the details of the mystery school teachings alive and to pass the torch on to the new generation. The vast majority of Masonic halls, temples, and lodges display triptych architecture in one form or another, very often right in the building's facade. It is ridiculous to ignore this or to try to explain it away.
And I think next time what I'll do is I'll preload the slideshow. I might send that to you as well, John, because that's got a lot of the photos that I took. And I found a massive Masonic temple like 5 hours west of here, and just triptych all over it. The church, it's in Warwick. The church in Warwick, the Masonic temple in Warwick, but also there's like a small town outside of Warwick that had another Masonic church that was painted the same weird color, like the timber was painted the same weird color of the sandstone, and it had triptych as well.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, what were they searching for out there? Like, what was out there for them to actually have the massive triptych symbology?
Mm. It is my contention that during the Middle Ages, Masons who were commissioned by the Church to build Europe's Gothic cathedrals secretly encoded the triptych's wisdom. Can you tell I read this like fucking 6 years ago?
Yeah.
Encoded the triptych's wisdom into the facades of churches, castles, cathedrals, stone landmarks, reliefs, monuments, and statues, where it remains concealed today. Countless medieval Gothic cathedrals built by the Freemasons all share the same master blueprint, a mystifying cathedral code with the triptych pattern as its focus. Here we have some cathedrals.
Here we have some cathedrals, yeah.
3 doors, sole window, 2 large pillars.
Yeah. Flower of life. Yeah.
These Gothic cathedrals all share the same basic blueprint, the cathedral code. Freemasons have a secret which they carefully conceal. Masonry is derived from some very ancient religion. At what period of antiquity or in what nation this religion was first established is lost in the labyrinth of unrecorded time. Thomas Paine, The Origins of Freemasonry, 1818. The Gothic cathedrals are among the greatest masterpieces of world architecture, and among the chief reasons for their universal appeal are the following key aspects of their design. The west facade. So we've got 2 twin towers, centered rose window, and triptych entry for those people playing along at home with the screens.
And the west facade also, the other thing about these Gothic temples is they probably line up to the summer, the winter, or the equinox. It depends on where you are and which one, but they all line up to one, if not all of them.
But what you're saying is they're aligned astronomically?
Astronomically.
To some form or another?
Mm-hmm. Like all the other megalithic architecture, stone circles, everything else that we see around the world. Yep.
Together, these elements form the cathedral code. This repeating cathedral code is a message from the church building operative masons. Encoded in stone and concealed in plain sight, this facade is shared by countless Gothic cathedrals built during the Middle Ages. When decoded, the facade is clearly a memorial to the lost universal religion of the Triptych Temple, a way to record the Triptych religion in stone. Unfortunately, all good things must end. In the wake of the Protestant Reformation and the equally vigorous Counter-Reformation, there was a new focus on eradicating ties to the pagan ancestry of Europe. One of the sad consequences of this was the Church's very abrupt about-face in her support for the Masons. The Church stopped hiring them and instead started to call for the eradication of the Masons in the 1700s, starting with Pope Clement the 12th?
12th, yeah.
1652 to 1740, the Church began hammering the Masons with encyclicals and other documents calling for their destruction. In 1884, Pope Leo XIII published an encyclical equating Freemasonry with Satanism, which I must say continues today.
Exactly.
and said that a person who joined a Masonic lodge is thereby excommunicated. The purpose and aim of the Masonic sect having been discovered from plain evidence is easy to understand. To try to revive after 18 centuries the manners and institutions of paganism, we intend to turn our attention to the Masonic Society to illustrate more and more this wicked force and stop the spread of this contagious disease. Pope Leo XIII, Humanum Genus Encyclical, Condemnation of Freemasonry. This rift has not exactly been mended. As recently as 1983, then little-known Cardinal Ratzinger, later Pope Benedict the 16th, wrote, "The faithful who enroll in Masonic associations are in a state of grave sin and may not receive Holy Communion." That's Cardinal Ratzinger, Sacred Congregation for the Doctrine of Faith.
And I tell you what, like, isn't that an echo? Like, you just see, isn't that just such an echo? And I mean, look, I think we'll finish this chapter and we'll wrap it up for tonight. But I think I'd like to start with some of the Australian stuff when we come back, just to give some context in the next episode.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, there's a whole lot to say about the Masons and Australia and theories from that and information and more stuff that I've come to in the last few years. So we'll keep going, but I think we start episode 2 of this with the Australian stuff.
Lovely. I think that's a great place to start. As examined and written in stone, all the great secret
I wish you'd stop saying that, because I paid for that book and I didn't get it.
Yeah. Like, where's our copy?
Yeah,
You
where's
can't
your
even
copy?
buy it on Amazon.
I hope he's
Can you?
okay.
No, you can't.
You can't. It's
No.
I think you had to buy it directly from him. He's gone, man. As I say,
Yep.
I hope he's
Am I
okay.
right?
yeah.
All the great secret societies, perhaps in emulation of Freemasonry, or perhaps because these secret societies were offshoots of Freemasonry, once shared the same universal religion of the triptych, hence the universality of the triptych entrance. So we've got Skull and Bones, Shriners, Freemasons, and the Knights of Pythias, all sharing very similar archaeology.
Three window stuff again. Yeah.
Readers of Written in Stone
Look, just skip past that.
will already be familiar with my description of the triptych, but it is important to review it once
good.
more
Okay.
before presenting the God Self icon material. The reason is because the God Self icon and the triptych temple pattern represent exactly the same universal religion. The main difference is that the triptych temple expresses the universal religion in architecture, while the God Self icon expresses it in an icon depicting the human body. If indeed the Masons inherited an ancient pagan wisdom, and if they encoded this wisdom into cathedral architecture, it is easy to see why increasingly systematic and intolerant theologians could conclude that such a practice amounts to heresy and would therefore constitute a direct threat to the church.
How dare you say that color, creed, and everything else doesn't matter and take away our control?
Well, when you're trying to wrestle with control, you want to take away those that throw out a opposing
viewpoint.
Yeah.
Mm.
Over the
I
past
don't know what you mean, mate. It's not like I've seen any of that recently.
No, never. No. We don't try and silence those that oppose us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Over the past 2 centuries, numerous claims have been made about the nature of pagan symbolism encoded in Masonic architecture. It is generally believed in occult circles that medieval Masons had inherited esoteric knowledge, and that this knowledge has incorporated into the sacred architecture of the cathedrals. That was Michael Howard in The Occult Conspiracy. In 1831, Victor Hugo, the French poet and author of the novel Hunchback of Notre Dame, explained, "From remotest antiquity, the human race has employed architecture as its chief means of writing. Sometimes an entrance, a front, or even an entire church presents a symbolic meaning wholly foreign to religion, or even hostile to the church. Only the initiated can decipher these mysterious books. And in 1910, American architect and writer Claude Bragdon, 66 to 46, wrote, in medieval Europe, fragments of the secret doctrine transmitted in the symbols and secrets of the cathedral builders determined much of Gothic architecture. That's from his writings, The Beautiful Necessity.
Did you want me to take over, mate? Are you okay?
Oh, give me a little more. At the end of this, if there's more to come, I'll happily swap over with you.
Roger.
In 1926, the French alchemist and hermeticist known as Fulcanelli published Le Mystère des Cathédrales.
Well done. You're doing very well, by the way.
In which he described, thank you, alchemical secrets in French cathedrals. The work is detailed but dense and has been criticised as very difficult to follow, a quality he seems to have intended. When I read Fulcanelli's book, I was stunned to see no mention of the triptych, which seemed to me a pretty glaring omission. That is why I decided to publish Written in Stone, where I presented my ideas. Do you want to start Written in Stone bingo? See how many times
we should turn into a drinking game or something.
Is this just an ad for Written in Stone? Anyway, you got it. You got it, Cassaro. Hopefully you sell some copies, brother. Please send them out. Where I presented my ideas about the meaning of the triptych temple design. Without an understanding of this key concept, it is hard to have a true appreciation for just how pervasive Masonic and pagan ideas were in the design and execution of Europe's cathedrals.
See Triptych Echoes episode, whatever it was, Unlocking the Code 2021. We went through all that.
That's better. Thank you. My research shows that Masonry, in the sense that we understand it, is a pagan organization that knows about and has been safeguarding what I regard as the ancient universal religion of the Golden Age for many centuries. This reference to a Golden Age is intended to refer to a prehistoric, perhaps antediluvian period where spirituality advanced concepts that I discuss throughout this book. Concepts such as balancing the opposites and awakening the third eye were initially formulated and developed in a form that influenced the development of civilization in areas throughout the world. To understand what the cathedral code is telling us, we must first realize that the code has a blueprint that can be found in most Masonic lodges.
Tracing board.
This blueprint is a sketch or drawing called the tracing board, and we can see in the side-by-side comparison below how the tracing board shares many points of resemblance to the Gothic Western facade. Swapping over to you. Please scroll us down, brother.
No worries, mate. Let's have a look here. Yeah, so we got Jachin and Boaz is the two columns in the Masonic tracing board. We've got the checkerboard, and you've got the central pillar with the all-seeing eye above, the moon and the sun, all the symbols that we can see here. And how he joins it together, there's the two twin towers, the centered rose window, and the triptych entry. So basically, because at the back of the tracing board, there's three spires, and then the heart above that, and they all represent. It's all the same symbology and symbolism. Again, we talked about this in the Triptych Echoes thing. I'm just going to scroll down a little bit because if we've got a fair bit to go, yeah. So we're going to get into looks like we're going to get into a fairly detailed description of the
Masonic iconography.
Masonic iconography and the tracing board and stuff like that. So what we might do, boys, is we might leave it there. Because it is 20 to we got to account for daylight savings with Johnny. So
absolutely, it's getting late.
It's getting late down there, mate. We'll try and make sure we'll try and attempt to start these a bit earlier, taking into account that you are an hour ahead of us. Boys, I really enjoyed that. I think this is going to be fun.
I think so.
I think it's going to be fun. And the thing is, the reality is we've already done 25 pages. So, and I would really like to start with, because if we're going to hear about the iconography and how it joins together, I wouldn't mind sharing some of the slideshow, because that we joined all that stuff together. We've seen some of that stuff in the Australian stuff as well. So I wouldn't mind starting with that later. John, have you got anything else for us, mate, before we sign off? In fact, before we come back to something that we should be doing before, we're going to do again. You got anything else, Mr. McDermott, mate?
No, mate. Let's just bang on and do a bit of Bodie Sanders.
Bodie Sanders, Warrior Wisdom. Okay. So Bodie's coming back on the podcast, and I've been privileged to be asked to actually write some words in his new book. And I'm currently finishing that book, and that's what a privilege and an honor to be asked to write some words at the front of that book.
Absolutely.
So we're going to go old school. Close my eyes. For those playing at home, you can't see me.
We're flipping the pages.
Flipping the pages.
If you've played this game before, you know how it works. We just open it up at a random page. Read on, brother.
So the first one I saw, lay down for yourself at the outset a certain stamp and a type of character for yourself which you are to maintain whether you are by yourself or meeting with people. You may be thinking that it must be exhausting to have make all these decisions every day concerning what is right and what is wrong as you walk the path of the warrior. But that is really not the way it is. The warrior does not have to mentally debate every issue that comes along to decide which action is right or wrong. The issue is of how a warrior will live has already been decided. He's already set the standards that he will live by, balance, and he knows what he stands for and what he will not stand for. These decisions have already been made. What the warrior must do on a daily basis is actually live by the standards that he has set for himself. He knows what is right and what is wrong, and he knows that it is a duty to maintain his character and to have the courage to do what is right. His code is not for show. He doesn't use it to impress people. It is his way of life. It is who he is. The warrior knows all this. All that is left for him to do is to put these things into action. Whether he's alone or with others, he must live up to his standards. He has determined the type of character that he wants for himself, and he knows in order to develop and maintain that character, he must make it a vital part of who he is, whether alone or with other people. Make firm decision concerning how you will live your life and stick to it. If that's not embracing the God self, I'm not too sure what is.
It always seems to be on point. It never ceases to amaze.
And just for the record, the other one says, because with balance, beware of a dagger hidden in a smile. I don't think we need to read that one. I think everyone knows exactly what we're talking about there. Okay. Mate, thank you very much, John. Angus, I really enjoyed that. I'm looking forward to the next one.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. Until next time. Thanks very much, gents.
Thank you.
Cheers.
See you later.
See ya.